Hello everybody on a Sunday. Please let me know if you could see and hear me okay. It's always like a cold start. Cold start basically. And this week we're gonna finish coloring Supergirl. So my camera's all funky. Give me a second. Where is it? Especially now with a puppy. Hey, I'm glad Doodly Don's internet is now working. Here we go. Okay, because it's right in front of my monitor, so I'm trying to straighten it out. But that's not working. Okay. Give me a second. We don't want you to see the markers. We want you to see Supergirl. And I might have to scoot up a little bit because I don't want her to be her perspective to be distorted, where her head is bigger than her body and it looks funny. But here we go. I'm pretty prepared today, all things considered, because I knew I had to make sure Bear fell asleep, ate and everything, and that he doesn't get fussy, because John is at his art studio right now, so I have to make sure if he cries, that's on me. So I have to go take care of him or bring him in here. Danny, hey, what's up? That one K-pop guy, how awesome. So glad you finally made it. I think, you know what? This time on Sunday, let me know what you guys think of Sunday at this time, because I feel like it's okay for everybody overseas and in the States, and it's Sunday instead of Saturday, so. And hey, Danny, I know you could see all the Gundams that you got me in the background. What do you think? I know. Hey, what's up, Stefan? I'll be right back, you guys. Give me 2 seconds. So I'm gonna scroll up and say hi, but let's get started so that today I could finally finish a piece while I'm talking a lot. So let's always start with the skin tones. Anyways, awesome. Okay, seems like it's good. Hello, SSP Artistic, JD, Richard, Stefan, CCCB150. Awesome. I think you guys are here early. And unicorn looking perfect. Danny, well, you know what? I screwed up the LED, so he doesn't light up. And I mean, I know this sounds horrible, but I might need to buy a different unicorn or take him apart without breaking anything, just so I can put LEDs in there. Because then he would be complete. Because right now I have like this, I'm feeling a bit, what do you call it? Guilty that I didn't completely light him up, so. Oh, thank you, Stefan. Hey, while you guys wait, I forgot I'm supposed to scan this thing. Give me a second. Hopefully it doesn't mess anything up. You might hear some scanning sounds, but this is how it works. So thank you for reminding me, Stefan. You'd be like, oh, wow. What do we have here? Okay. So we're gonna scan this at 400 DPIs, just in case somebody someday wants to use it as a cover, right? You never know. And I'll scan it to the desktop. I'm doing great, SSP Artistic, having lots of fun with the puppy, and that's basically what I did for 4th of July yesterday. And Stefan was like, oh, make sure you protect him from the fireworks, and I know what you mean, so because I met with the dog trainer yesterday morning, and she was like, yeah, all her dogs are afraid of fireworks. So I was like, maybe if I'm just chill and calm and we just look out the window and he sees fireworks and it's loud, and I don't react to it, he'll be okay. And guess what, you guys, little guy did not react to the fireworks whatsoever. So interesting. I just saw an error message. So nowadays, if you have an Apple, they're no longer going to be supporting a lot of the apps, like the scanning app and even OBS if it's an Intel what do you call it, for the Intel processor. So now you have to use Apple's processor, which is annoying. I don't want to have to upgrade my computer and everything, but we'll see. Enormous. Hello again. Any tips for drawing hair? A lot of people have honestly really good tutorials for hair, whether it's female or male. I think that the rule of thumb is to try to see it as a whole instead of just little strands. So you draw them in chunks. Even if you want to realistically render it at some point, you want to make sure that that you draw them in chunks. And I'll grab the piece really quick. 1 second. Okay, scanned. Stefan's gonna have, or everybody's gonna see the this version of it. So, hello, Michael White. Hi, you guys are so sweet to each other, JD, and thank you again, Stefan. Thank you. Hello, Rika, and hello, Yosef. Alrighty, so let me fill some ink in here. I think these are, this is pretty dry, right? Oh yeah. Especially with watercolor paper, you want your pens to be extra, filled pretty good, just because it's gonna absorb so much ink. So what is this? I'm just chilling out today. It's Sunday and it's been a long week, so I would try my best to be, on top of things. Oh, this might be okay. This is Cotton Pearl, so this is the base color for her skin I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the big chisel end of it just because I want to fill these areas in faster, on top of the fact that and you see other people doing this, but it also prevents it from streaking too much, or you see little streak marks. So hopefully I'm right and I'm not just making things up. So anyways. This is a pretty thick. This is a, it's pretty thick compared to, let's see, one of these. This is the sketch, so let's see if I can show you the difference. Sketch, tip, and then this one right here, whatever this is. This is just the, I don't know what this is called. Anywho. Oh yeah, SSP artistic. It's funny that you should say wake up early. Ever since I got the puppy, he wakes up at about 5:45. And this morning, because we were potty training him and we took him outside and stuff, he was actually waking up. He woke up at 6 and was a good boy. So I'm happy about that. Okay, here we go. Nice. So far, so good. So you guys could see, and why I like using watercolor paper. And I mean, I don't like Copic paper because, or for markers, because it's so thin. I like watercolor paper because it absorbs pretty evenly and it's used to absorbing water and stuff. So Bristol is nice, but depending on the type of bristle, sometimes you kind of see the streak. And honestly, there's some artists who actually use the streak to their advantage, and it looks cool stylistically. So it's just for my style, I like it better, a little bit smoother in some places. Hello, Morris and Extreme Maybe. I picked a good time because I didn't realize it, but there's a World Cup match that John's waiting to see. So today is going to be a chill World Cup and puppy day with pizza. We're going to order pizza today. Not pineapple pizza. Probably going to order like some Italian pizza with meat and veggies, like John loves those. And for me personally, I got to reread. Well, actually, I got to look at the script for Neil Wonderland while Josh is lettering it to make sure that everything sounds right and I don't have to add more word balloons while he's finishing up the book. So I'm excited. I think next week we're going to do our wrap up, Neil Wonderland wrap up, if all goes well. Maybe I'll show you guys how I do the neon signs and stuff, just something to wrap it up. So that's like a wrap up from the time that we started, the Kickstarter and everything. So I can't believe it, you guys. We're actually gonna get the book after me wanting to do it for so many years. I'm not gonna lie, there's times that I'm like overwhelmed, but then I try to think macro and not, get overwhelmed with all the fine details of making my own comic book. So I think next week I'm actually going to film part of our live stream and, everything just for the documentary. So as you guys remembered last week, I used white ink for this, so it looks kind of funny. So what I'm going to do later, though, at the end maybe, is take gouache and then fill this part in so it's the same color as the Copic marker. So Wolfpack, I'm sorry, what do you mean by future Copic will only sell a digital color PNG file? You got money on Mexico, I'm not surprised. Okay. So Mr. Docs, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. So 7 p.m. UK time, Brazil versus Norway starts soon. Yes, so John is, I know there's probably some of you guys from Brazil. He's rooting for Norway because he's part Norwegian, so he's definitely rooting for Norway. I'm hoping for a great game. And I mean, just because part of my family is now Norwegian, I'm going to root for them too. So, I mean, Brazil is an amazing team. I think we all know that. Man, if they don't, when somebody's offsides, during the game, if John doesn't tell me, or because he knows exactly how it's supposed to look, and they don't do it in slow motion, I can never really tell. And clearly the players can't either in the crowd because they're all cheering, and then they take the points back, and it's like, oh my god, that sucks. I'm so sad only on Sony's move. I agree with you, Wolfpack. I'm sad too. I love physical copies of games. So, what that tells me is anybody who has a hard copy of anything at this point, it's going to sell a lot more, for a lot more than what it was previously, which is kind of ironic, isn't it? Because there's a scarcity. And I still own a lot of my, I still have physical copies of my games. I don't think you could see it. All my favorite games are up there. So far. I mean, there's some games I'm still trying to collect, but pretty sure if I ask my brother, he probably has most of them, so I don't have to worry about trying to collect them myself, unless he sells them, in which case that would suck. Oh, stream, maybe Sony is going to go to digital only starting in 28, you guys? So any games that have already been set to release before that time, if there's still going to be physical copies. And I think Grand Theft Auto is also all digital, if I heard correctly, right? Their premium content, I don't know if there's like extra stuff or if it's all just digital download stuff. Hey, Echo, I'm only starting earlier today because I realize it's Sunday, and I know a lot of, some of you guys are overseas, so you wouldn't be able to watch me since you probably work on Monday. So I was like, I'll just start a little earlier. And if it works out for you guys, I think this would be a good time. And I think because I'm starting to get my puppy used to going outside at a certain time to use the bathroom and nap, that this might be a good time. So if you guys are good with me streaming this time, I think I will switch it to today. But please let me know. I'm here to listen to you guys. I'm not going to make an executive decision without you guys. I get sold NES game complete in a box for $1,000. Bought for 110 years ago. Nice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I'm being very honest, and maybe I'm just old school, I mean, clearly I'm drawing on paper and I love comic books on paper, so I'm never going to let it go. There's just, when it's, so when I know a game is only digital, I usually think, I'll just play it later, or I'll just download it later. There's no urgency to go pick up the game. There's no journey to get the game, you know what I mean? So there's so many games that I've wanted that I haven't even bothered with because I hate to say it, Final Fantasy is like, because I know I could just download it, I haven't even picked it up. You know, when it was mostly physical copies, there was an urgency to pick up the game. At least you had it, and you were kind of excited to open up these shrink wrap and then, you know, put the game, and you hear the sound of the motor of the console. There's like this process that goes into physical things that makes it a journey. And I think we love that aspect of a lot of art and, you know, just things that we do. There's like this journey to get there. I mean, once you get something and it's immediate gratification, you guys know this, it's very short-lived, you know? So, let's see. I'm using blush here. You can see I put some blush on her nose. I think I'm going to switch to a tea rose because blush might be a little too red. E, I think, stands for earth. Okay. Hello, Brian. Reckets. Hi, Reckets. My partner started building his game tower where he refurbished old consoles and is nowadays collecting originals. That's sweet. Yeah. I should ask my brother what games he has left. Because back in the day, you know, we used to return games and trade them just for other games, and that was the fun of it, right? I think for a while my brother and I was like collecting all the Resident Evil games, and I don't know if we ever like fully recollected everything, but we got pretty close. In fact, if I had to collect any game right now, because there's so many of them, and they try to stay, you know, within the continuation of the story. So I would collect Resident Evil. Okay, well, I'm gonna get Code Veronica. That was actually one of my favorite Resident Evil games. You know, I wonder, Reckets, I think maybe they realize it, but at some point, because there's not enough people buying the physical copies, it becomes more expensive to print things. For example, let me ask you guys this. This is clearly awesome if I hear it from you personally. Think about print comic books, right? Like, I love print. We all do. And there's not a whole lot of shops now, and I know some people just read it digitally. And if you try to, you know, I think for years, because the cost was going up for printing and everything, because, you know, inflation. Oh, 1 second. The camera died. Basically the cost of books remained fairly the same, and it barely went up for years. And then it all started to kind of fold in on itself, and now it's like really expensive to either get a book into the shop, or not enough shops to get the books in, and then it makes it so that, you know, it's like it's self-fulfilling, or like a perpetual wheel of, you know, just something shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So yeah, it's like it's hard to see it coming until it's already here, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I think a lot of people didn't really care for the the physical copies of games, and so that's what happens. Very, very sad. I mean, maybe we should have asked the fans more, like, hey, what do you guys think of this thing being this price here, whether it's video games or comic books? And if they say, hey, it's okay, so long as, you know, we're getting our money's worth and you're not like skimping on the story or the art, then yeah, I don't think people mind, or even the gameplay, right? But if you start taking shortcuts, that's when people notice. What did JD say? I'm gonna go up here. I'm going to see a lot more people sailing the high seas if buying isn't owning. then pirating isn't stealing. I totally see what you mean. For sure, yeah. Hey, magical posters. Time to start hoarding. I already started. I am sentimental about my games for the most part. Well, guess, let me tell you a funny story. So John loves soccer, and he played FIFA World Cup. Do you guys remember the South Africa World Cup? That was ages ago. He played that World Cup while there was 3 new World Cups going on basically already. So for like over 10 years. And finally one day, because he's like, oh, I'm not going to play anymore. So I'm like, okay. So I took his game and I took it to GameStop to trade it in for, I forgot what game it was. It was probably Fallout or something. Or it was one of those games like you had to have that game, right? And he found out when we were walking to the grocery store that I traded the game in. So he's like, you can't. You got to go back and pick it up. So we went to GameStop. We're like, hey, can I get the game back that I just sold to you guys? He had to pay a little bit more for it to pay the used copy version since we already sold it to them. So I got like $10 for it, and he had to pay $15 to buy it back, which it was horrible. Anyways, there's John's World Cup story. Echo, how do I feel about it? Well, I mean, I've already had that experience with Lola, to be honest with you, XOXO. But then somebody came up to me at a convention and just came clean, and he had me sign a hard copy, and he's like, hey, I just wanted you to know that I actually saw your book on one of those websites that pirated the comics and stuff and manga, and I liked it so much that I decided to buy a physical copy. So it's like it's a weird thing. Like, I don't like it, but at the same time, I know it happens, and I could, complain about how the world is, or I could say, okay, well, now there's more people seeing it, and more people that would have seen it otherwise because it's not in a ton of stores. So then they would go around and actually buy the book, or the exposure's there, and you can't really stop that. I mean, it's been around forever, so it's just a matter of perspective, right? Like, I would love to get paid for it, but at the same time, nowadays when I do like a page rate, it's like, if I have, whether it's commissions or a page rate, if I'm okay with that and I said yes to the page rate or the commission or the royalties, that's technically, I was okay with it. I can't get kind of like, lose sleep over it at night, because that would be a hard way to live. Like, it's just, then I might as well do something else because it's unavoidable. It's almost like eBay when I see some of my variant covers selling for a lot of money, and my page rate or cover rate was a certain amount. It's like, well, it says a lot for me, and I'm happy to see it, because guess what? I could go around and actually charge more or sell my own stuff for the same price and be competitive, because I can't prevent that from happening. So it's just like taking the negative and then doing the best you can to make it work for you, and then being very sober about the whole thing. So what was that? Yes, VHS will go up there, is a market for it already, and the used bookstore I saw cassette tapes. Yes, see, I think that's, the more we use AI and digital, everything's digital, physical things are going to be more in demand, and the connection, whether it's concerts and stuff. If you think about Spotify, right, like, it's free music for the most part, and concerts, people going to concerts has been, I feel like it's gone up because of people getting exposed to different music and more people getting it, that concerts are doing well. And a lot of bands now that I like, they're going independent, and they're making more money as an artist because they're no longer with a record label. So there's also that. 1 second. What color is that? Beige. I don't think I have that for some reason. Okay. Sorry that I keep going down there, because there's no room on my desk to put colors here. Richard, I'm thinking it's gonna be clouds. I'm gonna watercolor clouds in. At first I was just gonna leave it blank, but I feel like clouds would be nice. So it'd be a lot like the Michael Turner cover. Yeah. So this is his version of Supergirl. Man, I wish I had blush. Hello, Nil456. Sunrise. Okay, I'd have to Google how it actually is supposed to look, even though I should know because our bedroom is facing a sunrise, but this thing is bothering me, telling me that I won't be able to use my Intel apps shortly, and I have to probably get a new laptop or computer. I'm so proud of Puppy. He's probably sleeping again. He's been really good. I've only had him for, what, like a couple weeks, and he's already kind of settling in. He's less of a land shark, and he doesn't get as many zoomies where he's like going crazy because he's tired. I gotta move these out of the way. There we go. Much better. Man, this paper's so awesome. If only Arches wasn't so expensive, I would love to use this for interior art, you know. Someday, you guys, when I have more money on projects, you know, built up from all these other projects, I will probably do a book traditionally again. I miss doing that. I mean, coloring like this, of course, because that was fun, doing that with Lola. So in terms of like being a creator and then getting paid a certain amount for comics or doing print books versus digital only and stuff like that, it's like you kind of have to weigh how much time you spend making something versus how much you're gonna get in the end, you know, for it. So like that's why manga is right now in a good position, because most of the time it's black and white, and the time to do it and how much story you get, you could charge less and still, you know, get paid. Not get paid, but the distribution is still good, and you spend less time doing it. So it's a good profit margin right now. I mean, I know artists aren't getting paid a lot, but yeah, it's interesting. Just be, you know, I think right now it's like we're in the middle of like all these different changes, and we get to witness it, and it's really scary. But I think eventually it's just gonna settle into whatever it's gonna settle into. We've had that revolution with like, you know, cameras and stuff like that, and now we got AI and all that stuff. So. So you see this little white streak here is from the, what was it? The ink from last week. So I'm going to do gouache right here too to clean that up so that it looks just like, hopefully, the Copic marker. All right, let's do her eyes. Let's just finish her face up and do her hair next. The cape I might do last because there's so much open space. Like, you could do watercolor on it because it's watercolor paper and it would look really cool. Or I could try to do something with Copic. So I'm gonna figure that out after I do everything else. You could go either way. Let me get a blue. I think it's in here. Yes, it's in here. Trying to pick a nice color for her lips. So let's do rose red and see what that looks like. I don't need a whole lot. I want it to look kind of natural. Maybe hot pink would be good, yeah. Because it doesn't actually look like that when you put it on paper. Do I have water? Oh, I have water. Yes, I have water today. So let's get this part over with, so that I can get out of my so that her face looks more complete. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna use the, you guys remember this? The white ink Copic, I believe, no, Zig, sorry, Kiritake. So add a little bit of shine to her nose and to her lips to kind of bring it out. Oh, I don't have, let me get a napkin because I'm going to need it for the watercolor later. Oops. Hey Calvin, how was my 4th? It was pretty chill, just hanging out at home, dog training and, you know, cleaning basically, and some work. But today is going to be mostly work. Work, and I guess this isn't really work, kind of chilling too on a Sunday. Do I have light caramel? This is an amazing color. I don't want it. Ooh, this one's nice. Oh, yes, awesome. Sweet, I have it. So I was like thinking, before I go to Ohio to sign my books, Frank from Aspen was suggesting that I just do all the commissions there, and so I'd stay over there a little longer. So I might ship my Copic refills like ground shipping, because you can't fly with these, and just have it there ready for me to do commissions for you guys, the color commissions. Sweet. And I'm using the flat side because I want to have like those chunky highlights instead of the smooth ones. Actually, there's some areas that I might want smooth, so maybe I will switch. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So, you know, you could color with either end of the Copic. I do like the flat side just because it covers a lot of area really a lot quicker. Oh, that's awesome, Calvin. Did you have barbecue? I wish I had the ability to barbecue yesterday, but we didn't plan it at all. And my barbecue skills is nowhere near my dad's. So I tend not to do it. But it would have been nice to have like barbecue wings and ribs or something and a hamburger. But no, I made pasta instead, which wasn't that special. Kind of bummed. I didn't plan it better. We thought we were going to be able to eat out, but most of the restaurants were closed yesterday. Okay, let's see. Let's do white, light walnut. No, actually, you know what? Let's do the yellow first. If I have the right yellow. This is pretty. I-23. Ooh. Dry as a riverbed. You like it, Stefan? There we go. Much better. Oh, you guys are funny. Aw. Oh, extreme maybe. Yeah, I just saw what you said about digital art and the real art being worth more. I completely agree. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm not going to give up my obsession with physical media. Me and plenty of other people. Because, I mean, me drawing comic books and writing it is not just about, like, I mean, clearly not the money. It's about telling a story, but also every stage of it, you kind of have to enjoy it if you're going to get paid less than most other professions, you know what I mean? You have to love the whole process, or else it could get pretty, I mean, very, very tough, if I'm being honest. There's days where I'm like, I cannot draw today. It just, everything looks bad, or life just kind of gets What am I saying? Everything gets, I just read something on here from YouTube. Yeah, it gets really hard if you don't enjoy the process. There's times when things aren't going to look the way you want to, and your life does get in the way, things that happen. So it does affect you artistically because your mind is constantly thinking about other things. And when you're drawing or creating art, a lot of times it requires a certain level of a certain wavelength to unlock your creativity, like almost like a relaxed state in a way. Some people like it when it's stressful, but man, I do not like stressful deadlines and stuff. So I have to find little things like this, whether it's lettering, drawing buildings, cars, people, just things that you have to draw in comic books. You just have to find something nice about it, or else it's going to get really tough. And I will say this, I've learned so much from doing my own comic book recently. It's quite the learning experience. It's like getting thrown into the deep end of the pool. Okay, let's not procrastinate. Okay, let's do her belt. It's a nice yellow, and I got like this, bam, look at that. That's like legit yellow. Oh, my fingernails in this yellow, it's kind of, everything's so bright. Put the base tone down for the belt. Refill this. Might as well get this over with. And once I finish this, I'll show you guys a little trick I do for shadows and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be, you could do all the flat colors first and then go in with like a huge flat pen and then get the shadows all at one time. Okay, what else is yellow? Yellow. This is going to be interesting to mix watercolors with Copics right here on the cape. At least that's what my plan is. Unless I use India ink, which looks closer to Copic markers. Okay. Let's do the red. Man, we're making good time, you guys. Please look okay. I'm afraid to do this. This is called Prawn. Hopefully we still have enough of this left. No, I don't have enough. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Sky Surf Gathering. Wow. Yeah, like, what did you say? Yeah, that would be really cool, right? Rackets like at a convention or something that we could figure out like where in the central location or maybe a few of them. I can't wait to show you guys the dialogue in the Sky Surfer pages in the comic book. And it's so cool because I just remembered the live streams, and I could even go back and look at it where we brought it up. In fact, you know what? I should make note of it for the documentary. I think I'm going to try to locate that part in the live stream and then show the page, the final page in the story. I think that'd be kind of cool. Oh, Manila. Well, are you close to... That's going to be interesting, huh? That's the tough part. I mean, I've been lucky that I got to meet some of you in Europe or in, Canada, so... I just don't, I don't plan these enough. I think maybe I should. It's been a while, and I think I just wanted to have something to show up with instead of just, just me sitting there with old books. I wanted something new, so I have something to sign. Okay, I like this red, and I hope and wish that this is not dry. This is called Strong Red. Let's try Strong Red on Supergirl. Echo, yeah, I mean, obviously I would love to go all over the place. Like I said, I haven't really planned anything since I didn't have anything from my own, book for a long time, and, no one else when I was working with Aspen on my other project. That there's certain areas that we just never got a chance to plan because it's so expensive to plan different trips. Like Australia, I think, was the furthest I went for a convention. Wait, that's not true. Yeah, actually, that is true. So Australia was the furthest I went. I think it's further than Europe. So I haven't been to Asia yet. Have to go. Oh, camera died. All of them. Weird. Have I been coloring for that long, you guys? Because usually this thing, remember, it turns off every half an hour. So it doesn't feel like I've been drawing for that long or coloring for that long. Okay, blue. I hesitate with blue because it's such a dark color, it could get streaky, and I myself personally am not very good at it, and there needs to be like a nice gradation of blue in order for it to look good. So let me get scratch paper. 1 second. Okay. So we're gonna try out some blues. We need a couple at least. Okay, that's not gonna work. Maybe that's gonna work, but I need an in-between color for this one. Oh my God, Stefan. Dreams. I would love to do that with you guys. Smoky blue, let's try this. No. It's like, no. Okay, how about this one? No. I've always had the hardest time with like characters with blue costumes for this very reason. Because of the gradation. You need to get it right or else it just looks funny. Persian blue. Okay. Right, we're gonna be brave. Stefan, you gotta watch this. Or maybe I just put this down here. Echo, maybe if you guys want to see me draw an animal, like if I have time, I could do that. I could add crypto. Oh, I'm super nervous. It's like, do not F this up. But then if I do, guess what, you guys? We could use gouache. We could do we could pull a Bob Ross, you know? No such thing as accidents. It's all happy. We're gonna draw happy little clouds. I think for Halloween, I'm gonna dress up as Bob Ross again, maybe, or something else, because I want my dog Bear to be dressed up as R2-D2. Because sometimes when he gets upset or he wants something, he'll start whistling like, or he gets excited, he starts whistling like R2-D2, like almost exactly. It's the cutest thing ever. So I think I'm gonna dress him up as R2-D2 for Halloween. Yeah, this blue is pretty legit. It's like, you know, it's gonna hide some of my really bad brush work pretty soon here, or Copic work. I like this paper so much. Oh, thank you, Ray, because I like the bold blue too. I'm glad I went with the darker blue first before trying all these other ones out because I'm scared. And it actually blends in really nicely once you put the lighter blue in, because it smudges a little bit. Not smudges, it blends really nicely. Let's put it that way. I'm still scared. Okay, B26, let's try B000. So I'm gonna use a lighter blue to blend these in a little bit. You could barely see, it's almost white, but anyways. Like I said, I'm gonna probably go over some of these areas with gouache because I like the paint texture too. So it's really hard not to, you know, to get the shape I want and not mess up the the shape of the S. What happens if I do this? 1 second. Maybe not do that. Let's test this out first. Echo, I have plenty of favorite female artists. I would say Sarah Pacelli, Mirka Andolfo, Piano Staples, his name is is it Elena or Eliza? She's really good. Peach is awesome. I mean, if you know them, I love them. So I'm probably missing a couple. Yes, I love my girls. They're so good, so amazing. Some of the best. Trying to find the right in between color, but I don't have it. So I might just be brave. That's, when you have to do certain things, pick certain colors, you gotta be brave. We're gonna be brave today, you guys, and hopefully it'll pay off. This awesome paper is saving my butt. Thank you so much, Zion Shelton. Oh, I'm not familiar with Emma Kubert's work. It's awesome though. Oh, sweet. Yevgeny, that's amazing. Congratulations. That is a huge thing to do your first show. We all got to start somewhere, and I remember my first show. Obviously I was very insecure about my art. Especially because they sat me next to, I forgot his name, but the creator of Mouse Guard. And I watched lines of people waiting to get sketches from him and buying his books. And I looked at his art and I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. One day, hopefully, but yeah. That was my first actual Emerald City Comic Con experience. My very first show, though, was Comic Card, I think. A few years. Okay, there's a story that I've been waiting to tell you guys. So the first time I met Michael Turner, and if you were been at an Aspen panel, I might have told the story. Don't know. But I first met Michael Turner at the Seattle Comic Card Convention, where he was there with Aspen. It was like, you know, right when Soulfire and stuff was coming out and Supergirl came out. And that's basically where I got this book signed. The funny thing was I got myself a booth right across from Aspen's booth, and I had no idea they were going to be right in front of me. And so I was like, holy crap, my booth is right in front of Michael Turner. That's insane. And they had to put all like, when they fed the artists and stuff, they would basically, they had to put the catering at, you know, right behind my booth, so everybody had to come through. And I was like, oh my god, Michael Turner is probably gonna have to come to our behind my booth, whatever. But that's how I got this signed. And it's a long story, but that's how I got this book signed. It was the first time and only time I ever met him. And my brother, as soon as he got the chance, he was like, Mike, so how do you draw all these books? And Mike said to my younger brother, he's like, you just don't sleep. And he kind of laughed. It was hilarious. So that was my Michael Turner moment, and I will never forget that day. I stood in line and got 2 books signed. So yeah, that was, oh, you know what? I was actually there promoting Neo Wonderland when it was still called Saint Sinners at the time. So that's how long ago this was. When I decided I was going to do my book. So full circle moment, and I'll try to remember that story when I'm writing all the stuff for the behind the scenes content. But yeah, it was special. Mike was an amazing dude, and I'm so glad that we're drawing his version of Supergirl right now. So he is the, you know, I learned a lot of how I deal with things through him and just the stories I hear about him from the guys and fans, actually. So okay, since we're gonna have sunset, I'm assuming that the shadow's gonna be kind of purple once I put the sky in. So I'm gonna do this right here. Could use this as a shadow. Try to remember that. I'm gonna clean up my desk. I have too many markers right now. I should have told that story last week when we were celebrating Mike, but totally spaced. Thank you so much, JD. I'm having fun doing this. I actually love Copics and, you know, coloring. It's so relaxing when my colors have ink in it still and it's not dry. I know she looks kind of funny right now because the angle, see, it's slightly wide, so I'm gonna have to take a picture of it when I'm done so that you could kind of see the actual proportions, because it looks kind of funny right now on camera. I'd have to draw at an angle. So. Echo, I will definitely watch it on the stream, but I think just because it was an exclusive for the Kickstarter people who backed it, I think everybody gets that first, and if you backed it, you're going to get to watch with everybody that backed the Kickstarter. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, and then you guys would actually have it downloaded onto your computer as well. So I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that with the amount of memory I have in my Dropbox, but we'll see, and backer kit. But yeah, I think we should watch it together because there's going to be a lot of the live stream stuff that's going to be on there. And I'm also trying to figure out, like, if you guys watch my videos on YouTube and live stream if there's anything that I haven't said yet, or if something I'm going to have to go in depth with, because when you're doing the actual book, there's like so much that goes into it that I wouldn't be able to cover it, on a YouTube episode and stuff. Thank you so much, Stefan. Do you like it? It is yours. You better like it. Or give me feedback. We're going to do what you want. We are going to make the sky a sunset like he requested. Very, very Peter Steigerwaldish. And I'm going to steal one of his sunsets from Fathom probably, or Soulfire, because he does the best sunsets. I can't wait to see him again in a little bit here when I go to Ohio. Peter is a god, and I would not say that in front of him because he and I are like brothers and sisters. We kind of talk smack all the time, but he's amazing. I forget how amazing he is until I see him color some of my stuff. I'm like, dude, I couldn't color like that. That's so good. And he'll sit next to me and he'll say how good my stuff is, which I don't believe him, but he's really sweet. Yeah, when we travel for conventions, he would always be my table mate. Like, we'd always sit right next to each other for the most part. It's just be Peter and I, and then at some point you get bored and you start talking smack. It's like, dude, we've been here for almost 12 hours, so you start running out of nice things to say to each other. So that's my big brother, my Ohana. And his coloring has only gotten more amazing, and his line art amazing. So I'm only going to color part of her skirt because I think I want to get to the sky and the cape so that I could get that done before we finish the stream, because I think I could come back and just finish the skirt. I think you guys get the idea, right? Aw, thank you, Stefan. My ego's getting so big. I like improving. It's fun. I would hate it if my art didn't get any better. Probably wouldn't draw anymore, but clearly there's a lot of room to grow, which is why it's addicting, drawing comic books. Try to challenge myself. That said, I'm going to say this now so I could remember it and maybe come back to it when I do the documentary. You have like this perfect, you think you have this perfect approach or a perfect image of your, book or your art in mind. Like, I told myself, oh, wait till I do Neil Wonderland, it's going to be my best art. And so now that I'm almost done with it, like, just trying to, fix things here and there, trying to find things that I could improve on, I get kind of nervous because I'm like, is this as good as I thought it was going to be in my head? And then you don't want to let go, and that's when you don't finish a project or a thing because you hesitate and you second guess how it looks or whatever, your art, and then you never put it out or it takes forever. So I'm trying to get over that hump right now of not being perfect but great enough compared to what I did before, and regardless of how I felt like it should have looked in my head, like I thought it was going to be like this groundbreaking thing for myself, but I'm just gonna have to let go a little bit and know that I did the best I could for, you know, where my skills are at right now, and then hopefully just improve as I go. But I mean, it doesn't mean dropping the ball, but it also doesn't mean like you're spending forever on something and then you never get it done. So that's my that's me being transparent and revealing something to you guys, which is an insecurity, you know. I said I wasn't going to finish the skirt, and I ended up finishing the skirt. Thanks so much, JD. I'm nervous because you never know, right? I wasn't like inherently a writer, so I always have some insecurities. Like maybe I bit off more than I could chew at this point, but I'm trying to let that go because that's part of being an artist, right? And doing it professionally. You got to ship. I think I hear a dog waking up. You know, I might bring him in here so he doesn't get fussy. Or maybe give him a snack so he'll be quiet. Okay. And then we blend it. Thanks so much, Inktologist. I have plenty of time, I think, to do the cape and the background, because the background is mainly just watercolors, so, and the cape is going to be watercolor. And if I have to go a little longer, as long as the puppy doesn't start barking, I think we're good. Okay. Oh, except John has to watch the game at 2, so I got to keep that in mind as well. Right, let's do the outline. Echo, my dog, is a miniature schnauzer. He's adorable. I'm planning how I'm gonna cut his hair when the time comes, a certain way. Like there's haircuts for schnauzers. I see them in Korea, South Korea, and Japan. It's the cutest thing ever. They look like little teddy bears with like really long eyelashes, and they're trimmed so perfectly. So I'm gonna do that with his hair, and I'm gonna put clothes on him. Not really, just sometimes. I think it'd be kind of cute. You know, I'm the only one that probably thinks that dogs shouldn't wear pants. It just looks weird. I like them where they have like cute sweaters or t-shirts or hoodies, but when they put pants on them, I'm like, that looks funny. Pants on a dog does not look right to me, even though it is kind of weird. You know, maybe I should make him Winnie the Pooh for Halloween, because he doesn't wear pants. Because John was joking. He's like, hey, we should dress him up as Smokey the Bear for Halloween. But Smokey the Bear has no shirt and he wears pants. I still think it looks weird. I love Smokey the Bear, but I'm not a fan of the pants. I like the hat, though. Oh my god, Danny, you haven't used this. Yeah, you better go post on there, buddy. I think I even told you that. Like, you gotta go onto Discord so I could keep up with you. I'm gonna have a little fun with the outline right there, because if we're gonna have a sunset, maybe just a purple outline or something. Echo, I thought about it. I'm like, if I named him Crypto, I think everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people probably named their dogs Crypto after Superman. But you know what's funny is I think he might be the same breed, or he looks almost like the same breed as Crypto in some some instances. Maybe the movie version, except he's a different color. But I think someone actually brought it to my attention that my dog is actually from Lady and the Tramp. It's the same breed. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. I didn't know that. Now I love him even more. Ooh, 3D printing. That's awesome. Can I send you a... I would love to, you know, get something 3D printed and paint it, you know, like maybe my characters and stuff when I get around to doing the 3D model, but there's plenty to do though, you guys. Maybe I'll just wait for someone to do it for me, like statue someday. Echo. I think his favorite money is Canadian. I'm just joking. Maybe I'll do the shadows after I do the cape. Okay, so let's clear some of the marker off my desk here. Make room for some color pencils. Let's see. Color pencils. Sorry, no. Watercolor. Huh. I don't see my stuff. Might as well bring out the gouache too. So Stefan, you're gonna get a very artsy piece with watercolor and stuff, and gouache, just because we're having fun with all these supplies, and you guys can see how I utilize it, I guess. I forgot what brush was really good for doing the cape. Maybe try a new brush. No, I don't know about that one. Or you could try the really big brush. See? Aw, thank you, Danny. Thank you for all the Gundams too, by the way. It's my pride and joy. And I don't know if I don't know if I got to tell you this, Danny, but I'm obsessed with trying to get the Gundam done in 1 or 2 days. I refuse to go beyond that. Like, it drives me nuts if it's not done, because I'm so busy that if I just have it sitting there and it's not completed, it drives me nuts. So I think Unicorn took me 2 to 3 days tops to do, and then the master grades took me, and I think it was high grade. No, it's master grade, right? Those took me a day because I couldn't wait. But then again, I cheated because I didn't build all the weapons, so some of my Gundams don't have all the weapons. Okay. Let's add water to it for her cape first. I'm going to point it towards the light so that I could see where I applied the water. So, pardon me, it's going to be a bit blurry for a couple minutes. So I'm gonna do this, and then you know I want to see the bloom from the paint. So that's why I'm doing this. Oh, water's going down. I think it'd be kind of cool to have water there. Okay. Here goes nothing. We're gonna add different color gradients. I wish John was here and I could steal some of his brushes, but let's do the chisel. I like that one. Okay. Oh, that's a really pretty color. And that's this color. I want like different shades of red in her cape so that it's more interesting. So here we go. And maybe just have it running a little bit, you know, make it so the texture is not just flat. I want to make the color run a little bit, just to add a little bit more dimension to the piece. And I think with the clouds, I'm definitely going to do it this way. So hopefully I don't regret this. Some splotch of color. This is like therapeutic for me. I love watercolor. And I don't want to move the water around too much, or the color, because then it flattens and you don't see the texture when it dries. So I'm gonna just let it dry and be patient. All right, see you later, Danny. See you soon, hopefully on the Discord and just in the chat. Egg test tube, thank you so much. I love your name. I'm gonna get this to run a little bit because it dried, and luckily for me, watercolors, you could kind of take this streakiness out of it, but I still want the texture. So, and then the more paint I add, the more, what is it, vibrancy I get. Because right now, when it dries, it's probably gonna dry a little bit lighter. But what we're going for is texture right now. I'm curious to see how this dries, so I haven't really used these colors on this Arches paper before. I see what you mean, egg texture. Yeah. Sitting isn't good. That's why, for a long period of time, it does get kind of boring. That's why I have a stand-up desk, so that I'm constantly moving as best as I can. But, so Echo, if I'm correct, I think that is, that's the darkness, isn't it? And it's, Quione's art of the darkness, if it's the same one. Amazing artist. In fact, Dale is actually Frank Mastamuro's favorite artist for a long time. Like, I guess he did the Hulk and that was his favorite. Okay, so now that I'm gonna let this dry a little bit before I start adding more paint, so that I hope the paper doesn't start getting buckling. Oopsies. So while her cape is drying, before I go back in and add the pleats in the cape, I'm gonna go to the sky, I think. We have half an hour. We got this big old brush. See, even you know this, Dale. Yeah, I think I might have seen it in Michael Turner's folio. I don't remember, but you know what? I take that back. Maybe I haven't seen it in person. I can't remember. I was looking at so much Mike art and being at so many conventions that I don't really remember. What do you think of that, Stefan? Like that sunset, or is that like way too obviously Peter, and he's gonna know I copied him? So let me see if there's any sunsets in the book itself. Ooh, wow. I feel like just pick a crazy color and go with it. It's funny hearing you talk about it like that when their art is already amazing, and then you have the like other amazing artists. It's pretty awesome. and their styles a lot of times aren't even all that close to each other. I'm just gonna do the predictable thing right now and just grab the Michael Turner super thick omnibus and steal one of Peter's sunsets. Or we could do Final Fantasy. Yeah, let's go with Final Fantasy. Oh, this is so, look at this. I know you guys got one of these. This is so heavy. It's amazing. I think this one has really good sunsets. Okay, so let's see. Final Fantasy always comes out with like the most dramatic cloud work. And I love it. Oh, here we go. This is legit right here. Okay, so let me see if I could show you guys sort of kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. I just do that. Don't want to overthink it, especially because it's supposed to be an accent background and not like a detailed one. And maybe I'll use a little bit of the Soulfire as an example too, because it's so pretty. Okay. Again, I have to tilt the paper so that I could see where the water is going, because I want to leave some white so that it's more dramatic. Okay. Now I'm going to add, we could always start with yellow, right? And then kind of add some pink to it. Please look okay. Oh, look at that. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Happy little watercolor session. Some yellow, a little bit of orange. I think we need a little bit of to cool it down a little bit. What color is this? I'm just touching colors. Ooh, what is that? Okay. Ooh, okay, that works. I think that's like a burnt sienna, maybe. Okay, just putting color down for now, and then I'll paint the clouds in a little bit more clearly. So it looks kind of funky right now while it's drying, and then it's really close to her hair color as well. And so for like the rays of light coming through the clouds, you could technically just streak it like this and leave the white areas. So it looks like there's streaks of light coming from the clouds. So for example, like this. Oh. And then you could add the clouds in like that, so it looks like it's coming through here. Oh, thanks. Hey, what's up, Michael Richardson? You weren't running late. I was streaming too early. So, way different time and date. But I figured since I screwed up yesterday because I didn't know what day it was when I told you guys last week, I didn't realize it was 4th of July and that John already made an appointment for a trainer to come see Bear. So today was actually a good day. Plus, I feel like Saturday to me technically is a work day still, whereas Sunday it feels more chill. So even though I'm doing a live stream, it feels like I'm just hanging out on a Sunday and not like working. So I want to wait for it to dry a little bit more before I start like moving all this color around again because I don't want the paper to buckle. But so far I like the outline or the basic shapes for the clouds. Burnt sienna is awesome. It's like a must have color if you have paint. Okay, let me go back to the cape is still drying. Let me use a smaller brush maybe. So burnt sienna again, or actually I don't know if that's actually burnt sienna. I don't know what that is. I like it though. Okay, there's burnt sienna. Or is that a different color? Okay, that's burnt umber, I think. No, I don't know. See, I actually, what I did was I mixed my paint up so you could barely see what the actual color is until you put water over it, and then you could see the color at the bottom. But I think this will work. More clouds right here. I don't know if I want to use a flat brush or do a different brush. Let's try it. It doesn't have to try. I'm going to use I think this is a filbert. I don't know what this is called, but it's round. It's more round, so. I don't like this one, so I'll just go back. Okay, let's be brave. I always say that. And add more pigment so the clouds pop a little bit more. More yellow. See that? That's gonna pop. And I might regret it, but we'll see. And maybe a little bit of blue, Persian blue, to cool it down a little bit. And if I'm really scared, I could add white, even though I probably shouldn't do that. Now it's brown or something like that. Oops. Love watercolors. And as soon as the paint dries a little bit, I'm going to drag it down so it looks like there's light rays coming from the clouds. So hopefully it works out that way. Happy little clouds. Happy little sun rays. Oh, this is a big one instead. Hopefully when it dries it makes more sense. Okay, let's go and I think we could do the cape right now. I'm gonna add a darker crimson red just to add the pleats in her cape. This is gonna be really red. Maybe a little blue to, cool it down a little bit. Different brush, maybe more detailed brush instead. Where did that brush go? Let's try this one. This is so much fun to paint right now, you guys. It's so relaxing because it's watercolor and you get all these. I think with watercolor, it's not super predictable, so you kind of get a surprise, even though you're the one painting. It could have interesting textures, with the water and everything and the color mixing. And it's not always going to look exactly the same, at least not for me. See, when it dries, hopefully it looks cool. And I still want to maintain that like rough texture. I still want to leave some of the dry brush. You can kind of see how it looks kind of dry still, instead of it being completely smooth, or yeah, blended in like smoothly, I guess. But I like the dry brush, add texture, more texture. Trying to figure out where the folds would go. Oh, thanks so much, Arthur. Hope you're having fun. That sounds awesome. Thanks for joining, and thank you so much, McLeod. I'm having a blast right now, you guys. My face is in the way. Let me move myself like right here. Much better. Shouldn't have done that sooner. Don't want you guys to get all disoriented, I think I'll use a chisel for this one. I think I'll bring Baron here for a couple of minutes right after I finish, so you guys could see Sleepyhead. He's been a good boy. Hasn't barked at all since I've been doing this, which is amazing. All we needed was a trainer for one day, and he's already well behaved. I'm gonna break out the, what do you call it, gouache right now, and then add a couple little details. Gotta fix her fist, which I never really got around to. And then we'll be pretty close to done. I don't think we're gonna be done today, but we're super close. Okay, what color do I want? Where's Barely Beach? Oh, here it goes. Thank you so much, JD. This was fun as heck. Okay, so let's break out the gouache. Skin tone, I think. And fix her face a little bit so you guys can kind of see how I do it. And then her fist. If I have... peach gouache, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white. Don't know if I need it. And I'm doing this because I used white, kind of like white acrylic paint last week, and marker and watercolor won't go over it. So John is back. I'll be done in a few minutes, John, to watch the game, of course. He's been a good little boy. Been a good puppy. I was gonna bring him in here for a couple minutes before I finish. Yeah? I'm almost done. He's gonna start barking any second now. Okay, you guys could barely see it, but this is where the white ink was, or paint, and so now I'm actually using gouache, and I'm trying to get the color as close as possible to blend it in so it doesn't look like I corrected something. So yep, that's mixed media for you. And I'm probably going to continue to work on her hands. You know, if I had more time, I would probably render it out where it looks almost kind of three-dimensional or realistic instead of cell shaded. But I don't have that kind of time. I'll definitely post the finished version on Instagram and Facebook, because I want to do a little bit more to it than what you guys see here. Okay. So I'm mixing some of the watercolor with the gouache so that I could get the exact color to kind of fix this right here. So it's thicker. So it's pretty close. And then I want to add like a gouache accent to some of the fabric so it looks almost like oil or acrylic paint. Could you see that? Yeah, okay. Oops, wrong color. Added all sorts of colors on here. Maybe this works. This reminds me of like, or not this reminds me, but I'm trying to do like the Drew Struzan technique. Okay, I should probably bring Bear in and then have to take him outside to go use the bathroom. So, perfect timing. We're not completely done, but we're so close. Right, John, can I see Bear? I'll go grab him. I'll go grab the little guy. Does he? Okay. I'll just take him for 2 seconds. Here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Huh? I will. Alright, buddy. He's probably going to start biting, gnawing, and making all sorts of sounds. Here's a little boy. Here's my little boy. Here's Bear. What do you think of the paint, buddy? I love you too. Start chewing on everything. Do you see your pretty little face? He's adorable. Look at his floppy little ears. Alright, buddy. I gotta take him to use the bathroom. This is my love. This is my lovey love. Alright, buddy. Okay. Say bye to everybody, buddy. Buddy, buddy, buddy. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna shut it off in a second. So here you go. Alright, you guys. Well, I will see you next week. I'll let you know if it's Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to try to figure out what's the best time for everybody. And maybe I'll just post on YouTube and the Discord. And you guys can let me know what times work best. We could do a poll or something so that we could get all of us at the same time. So thank you so much. This was so fun. I'm not completely done, but I can't wait to finish this. I actually feel good that I'm able to actually finish a piece on live. So anyhow, well, puppies, nature's calling, so I got to take him out. But I will see you guys next week, and thank you for hanging out with me on a Sunday, and I will talk to you next week, you guys. Okay, bye.